Sunday against England gave the impression that one or two of the defenders weren't knitting together all that much. Some beautiful play coming forward, but almost comical at the back at the times, which has, alas, been one of the perennial failings of Brazilian football. And the man charged with the responsibility of bringing them back, Carlos Alberto Pereira, aided and abetted by Mario Zagallo. They were both in the technical squad in 1970 in Mexico, of course. Pereira has never played professional football, and he has a mammoth task on hand in trying to recreate the long traditional style of the Brazilians. Long high ball there, trying to find Mozer going through. Picked up here by Valdo. Back to Aldair, then to Mozer. Tall, lanky figure of Mozer. Was talking about the ages of the team. He's 32 years of age. And we have Junior wanting to come back into the side, and he's 38, or just 6 weeks away from that. That's a useful looking ball. They're getting right in behind the defense. And touched in there by Simone. Did very good work, foraging just outside the penalty area. And away goes Valdo. Some of the interchanging, when we watched them at the weekend, was quite superb. Busting forward there, Mauro Silva, the man they call the wardrobe. He was very impressive against England, but eased out there by Simone. Picked up here by Mozer. Oh, it's a dangerous one. Nice little curl in that. Taffarel coming right out. Picked up there by Aldair. Very, very speedy indeed. Easily taken away by the AC Milan defense. Of course, Ruud Gullit has just come back into the team after a 2-month absence. Scored at the weekend. They'll build it up slowly from the back and then explode from midfield. Mozer. And every time that Mauro Silva picked the ball up and pushed it forward, there were players running forward, like Aldair here. Came on as a sub against England. It was extremely impressive. AC Milan playing the ball deep, way out now to Simone. Simone down the left, and is he getting a free kick out of that? Certainly feels like it. Looking across to the referee, Marco Simone, all pulled back. Surely, surely. In it comes from the free kick. Aldair just getting his head to that. Good break wide by Valdo. Forward he goes, he's got some space. Lucky break back for him. You just wonder how convinced the AC Milan players are about this fixture. Certainly the Dutch are unhappy about it, as I said at the start. They might not be 100% pitched into it. Yes, watch the shooting part of Dunga. Dunga from Fiorentina with a very fierce dig in him. Any ball he picks up in midfield, just about that distance, he'll have a right go. Fabio Capello. You wonder just how far the voice carries in a stadium like this. Dunga playing it, they're very tight. AC Milan letting them come forward. Whipped away there by Costacurta, and at the back, almost in a languid push forward, Baresi. Picking up again. Very good interception there by Jorginho, and I think a little touch on Bebeto that was illegal. The referee says free kick. Luis Enrique. Touch back there to Aldair. And that's played in by Gullit, but far too wide. Picked up here by Dunga. At the back, Aldair. Aldair from Roma, so we have 7 players in the team tonight who are actively playing in Europe. Good cutting in there by Jorginho, but well marked off again and broken up easily. Mozer. Baresi. Simone. Rueful grimace there by the Brazilian. It's a free kick. Both teams knocking it about, inviting the others to come in. Gullit now inside. Rijkaard just took over temporarily. And it's going to be interesting to see how Gullit can perform, not just here, of course, but obviously towards the European Championships. Picked up there by Valdo. Branco. Back to Aldair. Well, so far, to be perfectly honest with you, it's hardly exhibition stuff. A real reluctance to give up possession. That's the overriding impression you get at the moment. Mauro Silva. Showing no inclination at the moment to rush at the AC Milan defense. Free kick. I just watch Bebeto, who's a youngish looking player, but in actual fact he's 28 years of age. Almost an angelic choir boy look about him, but lethal in both feet. Oh, that's a slag piece of play by Ancelotti. Surely he's not going to make a mess of things on this farewell game in the stadium. Played out there to Aldair. Oh no, that was far too optimistic. Little mistake there by Ancelotti. Maybe feeling slightly strained tonight. You know, when you have a kind of birthday party, you have to be on your best behavior. Rijkaard stroking it out there confidently. Mozer. Just get the impression that AC Milan are going through the motions. Almost like a training exercise. Chased away to the side by Mozer. Seen a lot of the play so far. And no seam of brilliance yet from either side. Free kick again. Marco van Basten, of course, scorer of all these goals, 23 goals, after a record which was previously held. Nice little touch. Breakthrough there by Luis Enrique. Most of Milan's play has been down this left so far, and picked up here now by Jorginho. A cluster of players in the middle of the field as it's Bebeto now, who's cut in from the right. Out to Valdo. And outnumbered clearly by the Milan defenders. And offside, Luis Enrique about to break through there. Little touch by Aldair into the open space. And no real rhythm to this game yet, at least no exciting or palpitating rhythm to this game yet, which is what we might have expected. So far, so cautious. Smile on the face of Van Basten. Well, at this early stage, I get the impression that this is the only man maybe in the stadium that is looking pensive. The others seem to be taking a great deal of leisure about the way they're playing this game. Almost at a walking pace as Baresi picks it up. Simone tries to get going. Flick forward there by Rijkaard. No great challenge as Van Basten went in. Swept in there by Gullit and beyond everybody. I have to say it is very, very difficult to play in a friendly when you consider that within a month's time all these European players are going to be involved in the heavy exercise of trying to win the European Championship. Jorginho. Mauro Silva trying to come away. And simply far too much missed passing. Gullit going around a little circle there, didn't quite know what to do with it. Tassotti had come forward. And all the moves breaking on the edge of the penalty area. No great penetration. It may come this time from Luis Enrique. And the man who'll be representing his country in the Olympic Games, Antonioli, in goal. Getting down to that. No great pace in it, I have to say. But we should be thankful for small mercies. There's been little to cheer about so far. Now the break. This looks more promising on the far side. Gullit. Great break there. Took everybody on. And it shows you the ferocity of this man's shooting. Just as we were talking about that shot at the other end, watch this for pace. And the goalkeeper, Taffarel, almost taken apart by it. Well, I'm sure Claudio Taffarel, playing for Parma, has felt that in the past in Italian league football. And a little explosive moment. That almost came about, you get the feeling that AC Milan have been slightly irked by the fact that Brazil got a shot in a goal, decided to come forward with a little more conviction. Well, I must say the Brazilians didn't mess about against England, and indeed Branco wanted to square up to one or two players. So they won't be taking prisoners tonight, although AC Milan I don't think want to mix it at all. Branco inside to Bebeto, who's beginning to move around the field now, trying to get a little space for himself. Rijkaard. Just about to say very tall, elegant figure of Rijkaard there, but so far all he's done is give the ball away to opponents. So they're far from perfect. Up they come, invading the penalty area. Easily touched away eventually by Aldair. And down goes Valdir. They are certainly not moving the ball about as smoothly and as easily as he did against England, that's for sure. Bebeto, and surely Luis Enrique was going to be offside there in any case. Well, there are some attractive moments in the game. These cutaways. Pull it. Oh, a superb pass through. And wasted. He did see the opening, and I think, I don't know, he was pointing to the crowd there as if to say, well, I've got things under control. Aldair, small man, looks quite frail, but extremely fleet of foot. Down went Jorginho, the break is on. Way wide to the side. Van Basten, offside. Yeah, I think he realizes that. He's beginning to play wide on the left. It has been congested right in front of goal, just outside the penalty area. He's trying to get a little more room. Touch forward by Jorginho. Rijkaard going in too heavily. Bebeto way down that far side and is offside. What I was mentioning earlier on and stopped in midstream about the number of goals that Marco van Basten is after. He's after 24, which would equal Paolo Rossi's record of 24 in the 18 league. Remember, the Italian league contracted. So that's Sunday's game for him. Although I don't think he's kidding. I think, frankly, he would rather be home in Amsterdam for a few days' rest. Baresi. Oh, shocking ball there. Costacurta playing it easily. Baresi way at the back as usual. Well, typical of the kind of slack, casual approach that AC Milan have tonight. And quite frankly, I'm not sure that Fabio Capello, friendly or no friendly, is at all happy with this. I did hint at the start that I've heard from the Dutch commentator, who knows them personally, that they're not at all happy with having to play another couple of games. They'd rather be home alone. Picked up nicely by Dunga. Well, over 20 minutes gone, and quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, a bit of a disappointment. Effort of a run down the side there. Gullit. I would imagine Gullit would want to show up tonight. I mean, he's missed so much games. And I wonder in the background if you can hear the crowd getting slightly restless, I would think. Or just kept in, Bebeto. And the quality of the final ball, as it's been all evening, is rather poor. Baresi. And I think offside was indeed. Simone. Simone, one of the players who will be leaving his club. And the thought of these other names I mentioned earlier coming to it, Papen and Savicevic in particular. The idea, of course, is that Berlusconi will be able to field two different kinds of teams, not entirely different, but two different kinds of teams for the Cup and for the League or for European games. You've got to be worth a few pennies to do that, and that is offside. Luis Enrique. Ancelotti. Picked up there by Maldini. Nice little piece of triangular plays. Baresi gets it. And another free kick. Frank Rijkaard scored 5 goals in the European Championship build-up. I beg your pardon, Marco van Basten. He scored 8 in the European Championship. And away to the side there goes Mozer, trying in vain to keep that in play. Little hitch kick there, Mauro Silva. Well, it's all rather tame. Certainly from the Brazilians, we have not had the kind of fluency we saw at the weekend in England. Rijkaard, neatly in there, Mozer. Playing it wide, Gullit doing a neat little dance and nobody following up. Taffarel, easiest of tasks. Branco. Man, it reminds me very much of the great Rivellino. Same sort of build, one-footed, left-sided player. They play in different positions, of course, but Branco has that kind of explosive nature and ability that Rivellino had, and by Jove, they both hit the ball. Or certainly Rivellino could hit a fearsome shot with his left foot, as Branco does. Any Liverpudlian will tell you that. Appeals to the referee, Gullit. Well, I think you must say he's breaking a little sweat, if that picture is accurate. Flicked in there as Tassotti wanted to come forward, and Taffarel, of course, realizing all the dangers in front of him, playing for Parma, the Italian Cup winners. Well, watching Italian football at its very best, like that Italian Cup final I was talking about, and then comparing it to this, is like, frankly, at the moment, comparing gold to dross. And away went Aldair. Nippy little man, but he hasn't successfully got round behind the defence. Gets a free kick out of it all the same, Antonioli. Little bit of instruction to his defence. Now this could be useful. The Brazilians, experts in this area. And nobody's up. Back came Gullit, and quite happy to concede that. I wouldn't say it's a full 85,000. They were hoping for that, but it's a good crowd nevertheless. as the corner is taken. Back they go again. That's the figure of Branco, the man I've been talking about, lightning to Rivellino, and it comes. And when you start to analyze this game, you begin to appreciate, as a starting point, there are so many Brazilians have been, if I could use the phrase, Europeanized. They're used to the habits of playing in the European arena. And of course, the manager doesn't like that. He has to live with that fact. The unfortunate thing about Brazilian football is it mirrors its economy. It's in dire straits. And they have to sell players to Europe. Hence the difficulty of keeping a national side. Well, we're looking for little individual skills, as you saw there. That came from Dunga, but again broken up. That's touched inside there by Mozer, and no. It's all breaking down again. And the point about the game is that nobody's really posing any great threat. Both defenses calm and organized, and as I say, they're just walking through it at times, the AC Milan players in particular. Maldini. Beautifully touched forward by Rijkaard. Sent forward there by Ancelotti, and too far. Well, if you're watching this game and can think back to some of this splendid Italian football you've been seeing all over the continent on the television screens, doesn't quite come up to that quality because there is not the commitment nor the conviction. Just kept in. Flicked back by Ancelotti. And you always hope for a quick break from Brazil. Some of the flamboyance off them. That's a mistake by Branco. Oh, beautifully touched back there by Van Basten. Put to the side, a little chance now. Rijkaard! He couldn't dangle it. That was the only problem at the end. Well, that's about 3 shots we've had a goal of any meaning whatsoever. Good play. And just touched away. Well, the best chance for AC Milan yet, no question about that. Beautiful play by Van Basten. Just touched to the side, and Rijkaard just a little bit too straight. Mark you, he might have been put off by Aldair coming in. And there, coming in from the side, Maldini coming right forward. Hit and run, creeping in there. And all off balance. And I think AC Milan are now trying to get as many players forward, just in bursts, not in any sustained manner. Oh, Van Basten got freedom. Gullit to the side, Van Basten. Now the Dutch are beginning to play. Well, that's a beautiful ball right across and whipped away just as Mozer was trying to finish it off. "15 minutes to half time, still no scoring." Looked to me like a hand there on the far side by Valdo. Baresi. Long speculative ball, and I think it's gone out. It has indeed. Well, you wonder just what kind of attitude the respective coaches will take at half time. It's always difficult to find a compromise between a commitment and an edge and conviction in a game for which there is no trophy at the end. Well, no meaningful trophy anyway. I'd hoped at the outset that that would not have mattered at all. It seems to. Free kick. Jorginho preparing to take this. Big player from Bayer Leverkusen, who just touched away. Indeed, Gullit got the final touch out of the penalty area. Branco. And the final ball by Brazil, deeply disappointing. Simply not accurate enough. Mistake there by Mauro Silva. And that is the only way that AC Milan seem to be turning the tide, based on the mistakes that are being created in midfield by the Brazilians themselves. Bebeto. Now they've got numbers here. Ancelotti. Now Gullit has time to be a little bit considered, and oh, that's quite unlike him. Although one has to compensate, I suppose, for the lack of games he's had. Scored a beautiful goal at the weekend, which you might have seen. Showing that both the hunger, the appetite, and the expertise is still there. That's Baresi. It does take a lot to put him down. There he goes, very committed man, very tough. Had a bit of an ordeal as a child, Baresi. He developed a serious pulmonary illness which badly affected his development, and I think may have given him that feeling of how to grit his teeth and take on adversity, which he's now having to do. Still no scoring. Bebeto on the far side, coming in. Maldini gets that away, and little lucky to survive that time. Jorginho inside. Playing it around very casually, Milan. Whipped away eventually by Mozer. Pitch almost concrete hard out there. Look at the way the ball's been bouncing. Of course, they've had problems with the pitch here. Gullit. Certainly knocking it about confidently in that area. Baresi slightly off that. Really. Baresi again, challenged by Bebeto, who hasn't in the game so far shown either the trickery or the pace that he showed at the weekend in England. Oh, Luis Enrique. I thought he was going to get away from his mark, and he didn't quite manage it. Pull it deep. Ancelotti comes forward. Van Basten went wide. Brazil allowing them to touch the ball around like this. Surely they're not treating this as an exercise in trying out the defense. Gullit, 4 players round him, and yes he does, win a corner. That was an aspect of the Brazilians' play against England which they had to look at. There's no question at all about that. And they're taking this game seriously. There's no doubt about it. In that respect, looking at themselves, organising, and Taffarel preparing for the corner kick. Well, too near the near post, and there was nobody running in for that. Far side. Well, I think Van Basten is trying to go as wide as possible. Branco getting in for the cover. Claudio Branco up to go again, this time headed away by Mauro Silva. Goal kick. Well, as we approach half-time, all the goodies, the banquet, which I'd hoped would be on the table, hasn't turned up. It's been more a kind of diet. Bread and cheese so far. Luis Enrique will take this. Touch on by Aldair. Luis Enrique on the far side. Is he onside? No. And I think Baresi is still suffering. They have 5 substitutes on the bench, and I think they're going to be allowed to bring as many on as they like. And by the look on his face, he might not see the second half. Rijkaard after that takes a little knock in the face. Hardly been in this game, Rijkaard. Now, they've got some numbers. Breaking on the right, Luis Enrique. And that just passed. I thought he was going to lay it off wide. Dunga coming forward. Renowned for that ability of his to strike a ball hard from a long distance. Almost taking the AC Milan defense on. Free kick to Brazil. Well, they partied, look at that, and he tried his best. There wasn't any great accuracy in it. It seemed to bumble along the ground. Referees are not very much to concentrate on this game as far as discipline is concerned. Archangel Petzela, his name is, would you believe? Diego Fuser scored 3 goals this season. Baresi making a little error. And again, Luis Enrique pushed as he tried to go forward. I have to say, I think the Brazilians looking slightly lightweight up front. They've got pace, but they're being easily brushed off the ball. Mozer almost making that mistake, picked up by Jorginho. Up goes the flag. Tassotti. No great urgency about AC Milan's play, as you could see from that pass forward. Baresi not at all concerned. Branco. Valdo. Branco again, Valdo making that little run. Bebeto on the far side. And again, look just how far away he was. He gets a lucky strike back at it. With a pass forward, inaccurate. Dunga. That's a better ball. Jorginho. Bebeto missing that. Bebeto again, is he onside? He's still on, would you believe? Almost a comedy of errors that time. Branco. Well, it's surprising that the Brazilians couldn't take advantage of that. That, of course, is the kind of historical gulf between the present generation of Brazilian players and the great players of the past. I mean, they would have murdered any defense that gave them these opportunities in the past. Well, a little flourish. Haven't seen too much of that. Get the impression that the Brazilians are almost respectful of AC Milan's reputation and the place they're playing. Not half as adventurous as I thought they might be. Picking up the pace a little here as Aldair goes in. Good covering by Costacurta. And the break from the back hasn't been quality enough at all for AC Milan. Little bit of a gap there, Bebeto. Now Maldini. Well, that's a bad one. Again, that's slackness. And I wonder if Fabio Capello is having a look at one or two of these players and saying, is it worthwhile keeping them on? They are half-hearted about it. The crowd look as if they're at a museum, not a football match. And they may ring the changes at half-time. The time ticks away towards the half-time whistle, still nothing each. And only a couple of glimmers in the entire first half. A couple of glimpses of the possibility of a goal. There's a certain obvious constraint about the way Milan are playing. Now it's a break from the midfield like this. It's got to be useful, but Basten, that's better. Just one glimpse at goal, and that's the quality of the man. He kept it down well. It was a difficult angle, but look at that. Good quality control, and on the drop, again, he couldn't angle it away properly. But all European defenses in Sweden will be aware of the quality of this man. And I think undue attention from the back. Gullit to Rijkaard. Best of friends, of course. They once replaced each other, were 18 years of age, and one replaced the other in their debut match for Holland, and I have to say nobody noticed the difference. That's the quality, and that was not at all quality. That was Bebeto. There he is. And we'll be playing, I think, maybe a few seconds stoppage time before they get back in for the cup of tea or coffee or vino collapso, whatever they give them in the stadium. And up, an easy one there for Antonioli. Maldini. Mozer. Easy one there by Mauro Silva, referee. Maybe anxious to get in himself. Mauro Silva, good break. Bebeto tries to go forward. He's aided by Valdo. Valdo. No. I think perhaps he was in several minds there whether to chip it over or try himself, and he tried himself. And there goes the whistle for the end of what I have to say, in all honesty, a deeply disappointing first half. Again, I emphasize there's not much at stake in this, but I hope that the prestige and the reputation of both teams in their different ways would have stimulated them to get the level of the play up. We certainly want to see from the Brazilians some of the artistry and the magic of the past. We know it's latent within them, and every now and again, especially against England, it revealed itself in the most attractive glimpses. But tonight, very little of that. They're European-based players. I hope this is not too accurate. I've just been conditioned into playing a certain way, and that is a pity. Let's hope for better in the second half. Do join us then.
Eurosport.
Well, we're back live in the Stadium San Siro, looking at a bunch of supporters who've seen better days. Well, they've changed the shop there, but that was the Brazilian entourage. There they are, and they have seen some marvelous performances in the past from their international side, but certainly not tonight. This has been a vast disappointment. That gives you the tries at goals, and really there's nothing in it. I mean, if you're talking about two teams, it's been very, very even. We're talking about, debatably, one of the finest European club teams in the past decade against a team with a great heritage, and it's so far been extremely disappointing. We'll hope to give you highlights of that first half in just a few moments. Well, here are some of the highlights, and I can tell you it would take something of a genius to produce edited highlights of the first half. But the lads have tried, and this was one effort here. Nice little move here. Well, too many of them have broken up on the edge of the penalty area like that. And I think my hint at the start of the game that the Dutch players weren't all that keen on it, I think has proved true. That was a shot by Luis Enrique. And I'm sure Antonioli, the under-21 keeper who's going to the Olympic Games, was delighted to be brought into the play. Luis Enrique, McGray, no power whatsoever. Little flick to the outside, and that, of course, was Gullit. He did very well. Now, the two real efforts they've had in the game have both come from the Dutchman, and of course that's why they're here, playing an Italian football with barely a chance to think and thundering it in. I hope they'll show you the Van Basten effort later on, which is something of the same. It's not been rather easy-ozy, I'm afraid. I was looking for some of the great skills from Mauro Silva, for example, who I thought was marvelous on Sunday. Now look at this little touch back, and this was a real chance for Rijkaard. Now, he probably didn't have much of the goal to look at. The goalkeeper had narrowed the angle. He had defenders on both sides, and it's easy from up here to look down on that and be critical, but again, hardly time to think, and on it like a flash. And that defender just to his right may have put him off. And a chance as Maldini sneaked into the penalty area. And I think the Van Basten one coming up, and that sums it up. This was Maldini, again coming right off it. I think perhaps slipping. Close attention of the Brazilians, yes. This is the one. Just touch to the far side. Well, they got players forward, but again, Fusser, number 7, you saw him there, seemed reluctant to come in for the kill. Every now and again, Brazil did break forward, but a lot of the moves being picked up there. Yeah, that's a Van Basten one. Good appreciation of what Van Basten would have done there by Taffarel and goal. The Parma goalkeeper, watch him right behind the line of the ball, making it difficult for Van Basten to see any acreage or space. A lot of good running by Bebeto on one side, Valdo and Aldair supporting him, but such weak finishing. Well, that was a half-time, and that, it seems to me, is a skimpy survey of the first half, but that's all there is. It did not set the pulses racing. And as I said, we'd be down on the knees hoping for better in the second half. Back in a few moments. Welcome back to the San Siro, and perhaps the supporters are trying to draw a veil over the proceedings with that smoke screen away down at the far side. AC Milan have had so much to play for, been so triumphant and successful, as represented in the face of Carlo Ancelotti there, that maybe all this is a bit insipid by comparison. Nevertheless, people have paid good money to come and see it. Silvio Berlusconi, the owner of the club, wants more and more friendlies played, so the players, I suppose, might just have to get inured to the fact that this is the trend of things to come. And now we're going to be watching substitutions. There certainly will be, I would imagine, because the Brazilian manager, Carlos Alberto Pereira, suggested such. He wanted not exactly to blood people in this game, but to give them a run in this special environment. The referee about to start the play. Let me repeat his name again, Arcangelo Petzela. He has not needed to sprout wings tonight. It's been a rather pacific game with not too much in the way of incident, although to be perfectly honest with you, I think we could do with a more combustible edge to the game. I wonder if this will come early on. I think it would come if the Brazilians decided to really have a go and assault this defense in the best possible way. It's an important game for players individually. These Dutch players, as I said, quite incensed. They had long chats with the club about being asked to play at the weekend, in particular against Foggia. And now here they are tonight. And what I described at the start is hopefully football being part of the entertainment business, the performing arts, has been rather lower than a clog dance at the moment in terms of culture, and the Brazilians a disappointment in particular. And having criticized the game thus, let's put all that behind us and get on with the second half, which might be better. Way forward, and they're trying to get these balls away behind the AC Milan defense, but to no great effect. That was taken away quite easily from Valdo. Free kick. Branco edging to take this. Now, would he try it from thus far? Antonioli, I think, is aware of that, which means watch out, I think. So, Branco, Claudio. Here he goes. He'll try and bend it. He does, but I think it's gone via the Alps. Doesn't he know it? He's bent a few in his day. I likened him to Rivellino, and I stick by that. Playing in different areas of the field, of course, but he has that kind of whiplash nature to the way he plays. Oh, lovely little push through, and surely that right on the edge of the penalty area. free kick, and you can't believe it. That is Massaro, who has come on as a substitute and brought down right away. Donadoni is on as well, as you can see. They didn't put the subs up on the screen, but Donadoni and Massaro are now on. Always reminds me a little of one of the Frenchmen, and little huddle there. Taking the time about it. Taffarel in goal, 26 years of age. And I think he's instructing the Brazilians to get further back. Taffarel doing the engineering. Hovering around is Mozer. And I think Mauro Silva was booked, yes, Amanito, which is a nice way the Italians have of putting it. There's a shot at goal, and just behind it's off the back. It's the billboards at the back. Oh, that was almost an optical illusion. It seemed to be running along the back of the net. This is a better angle of it. Swings away, oh, inside a post. Right along the line. That's quite astonishing how that stayed out. A remarkable miss there. Now let's see from this angle, and that shows you probably better. It stayed the right side of the line. No question at all about it. And a bit of commitment has crept into AC Milan, thankfully. And we may see the temperature rising in the stadium now. Still nothing each. Picked up here by Valdo, but taken away. Ancelotti. He's really trying. He gets the throw, and the crowd love it. It's a beautiful big banner up just before the game started saying that Ancelotti is near to our hearts. Very difficult to get past that man, using pace. Powers of recovery are superb. But a better start to the half. There's Donadoni. Bad pass forward, though. I think obviously AC Milan benefited. There are little signs of weariness and tiredness about them, but I think they benefited obviously by being banned from European football, not having had to play that. And the referee trying to still the tempers there. Looked as if it was just getting out of hand. Tassotti coming in. And this is coming out of absolutely nothing. Maybe it's coming out of old sores from the different games they've played in the past. Branco right in the middle of it. Explanation there by Mozer. Certainly wouldn't like to mix with Mozer. Well, Mauro Silva only got that away, just. Baresi, as you can see, has gone off as we suspected. Took that knock in his back. Touch forward by Maldini. There's been so little space for people in midfield. That, I suppose, is the definition of the modern game. The crowded, congested midfield, and nobody settled down, put the foot in the ball, stroked it about. Well, that's two passes put together by the Brazilians. Can't get a third going, and I think they may get a free kick out of that. Careca is also on for the Brazilians. Famous Careca, 31 years of age. £3 million worth when he came to Italy, to Napoli. You'll see him wearing number 19. And Antonioli again doing the measuring game for that defensive wall. And yet again the impassive features of Branco. Look at the determination of that. That was a wonderful example of a man determined to get round a defensive wall and at the same time give it oomph. And as well, they were ducking away from it. Bebeto. Here's Bebeto, just touches it to the side and it's offside. Trying to move the ball about a bit more, and with alacrity this time. A little bit of penetration. It's all been rather somnolent. Touch forward there by Gullit. Man who's taken over the captaincy, Tassotti. Looks like a gunslinger, doesn't he? Whipped away across. Chased away across to the far side by Massaro. Massaro, by the way, is playing in his 300th game tonight for the club. 300th game in the Italian league. I don't think it's going to turn out to be memorable somehow. Broken up nicely, trying to spread it about now as Valdo was taken out of that. On it goes now to Tassotti. Easily whipped away. Well, chased all the way by Simone, and what's the linesman given? Little ironic laughter there from the audience. Beautiful ball there by Dunga. Just back inside. Bebeto comes in as he put it away. No! He really came in there and killed him off. That really was bothering them. Brilliant piece of skill by Bebeto. but just touched away. Outside of foot, back to goal. And just cleared Costacurta. Careca certainly got free there. Bebeto, Careca! Oh yes! The man who cost £3 million when he came to Napoli has broken the deadlock, and are we thankful for that? Just a little touch of penetration. Look at him, the vision, shoving it to the side, the alert run in, and a touch of courage at the end, and Brazil are one-up. He'll be delighted with that. "25 goals he scored in the Italian league, and a man who had linked up so well in the past with Maradona. And he has transformed the whole situation now, because I'm convinced that Milan's pride has been hurt. Now, how are they going to retaliate? They'll certainly want to come forward a bit more now. It is not as if the Brazilian defense is totally invulnerable. Just every now and again, you know, these opportunities in the first half, Rijkaard and Van Basten had. Well, that's through the middle. Well, there's a new look of intent about this Brazilian side now. Massaro trying to get that away, looking for a little support. Costacurta. Rather hushed stadium by comparison with the earlier stages. Going away on a diagonal run. I'm not quite sure where he was wanting to end up. There was Mauro Silva, who's better going in the other direction. Touch back there by Simone, and yet again trying to get an opening for themselves on the left, and let down by that final ball again. Picked up there by Valdo. Mauro Silva. They're looking for Careca again. Great to see Careca on, but I honestly don't think there's very much future in this. Careca again. At the ages one or two of these Brazilians are at, there's you know, another couple of years before the World Cup finals themselves. He's certainly not getting any younger. But he wanted to play as European players. Oh. Well, I said at the start it was kind of end of term stuff, and that's an indication of it. Maldini coming away with it. Costacurta. Rijkaard comes in, and I think a free kick. Donadoni touches in. Swept away forward by Maldini. Mozer. Well, Mauro Silva trying to come through. And every now and again bothering the defense by just playing it high like that. Rijkaard. Oh, beautiful play. That was Ancelotti. Taking that very elegantly, and he's wanting to go out in style. Long and high. Chased hopefully by Massaro. Well, I would have thought that AC Milan would have cared about this. Costacurta indicating that maybe he wants a little more commitment. Edging forward very slowly. No, the 1-2 can't come off when they're so cluttered like that. Are beginning to put it together a little bit more like themselves, and then the final ball again, just letting them down. Rijkaard. Better piece of running there. And nobody running into space. Beautiful turn, that was Aldo. The Brazilians beginning to look a little more flexible, a little easier on the ball again. Well, mistake there by Mozer. Run forward on the far side. Luis Enrique, and there's a picture very suddenly. That's a nice piece of inventive direction for you. Just as that ball came into the penalty area, the man has been subbed. Rather sad-looking face there, I have to say, of Gullit. Rijkaard. Donadoni, easily beaten. Mauro Silva at the back, giving it to Aldair. Well, towards the end of the game at Wembley, they started to play the ball around like this. I would imagine it was twofold there. They wanted a result, didn't want to lose the game, and they wanted England to come out to them. Donadoni. Another substitution, Serena. And there he goes, the man most people have come up to see tonight, Carlo Ancelotti, going off to a standing ovation. His last game on the San Siro, an emotional moment for both himself and this very big crowd. Off for the last time. An illustrious career, as I said, 283 games. And on to a new career as assistant coach to Arrigo Sacchi. Is that sweat or perhaps something else? And AC Milan still cannot get the break. Mozer coming forward. Rather surprisingly, into enemy territory for the first time, I think, and leaving a gap. Rijkaard. Nice little chip by Donadoni. Chased by Simone. Still going loose, but whipped away as Massaro tried to touch it back. On a good break by Valdo. And almost Luis Enrique picking it up on the far side. That surely is a free kick, yes. Brazilians can't get away with that. Milan giving the ball away far too easily, though. The counter-attack. Pitch has been quite fierce tonight, I have to say. It looks hard, not bumpy, but the ball bounces quite appreciably. Sort of thing you would have imagined the Brazilians would have accommodated themselves to very quickly. Ancelotti in the dugout now is going to get used to that in his new career. Sign of Van Basten, the two Dutchmen having been subbed. Must say, I thought that Gullit looked particularly glum in the shot we had of him. Mark, you wouldn't anybody watching this kind of game, to be perfectly honest. Little slip there again, and almost given away by Aldair. Free kick. Valdo brought down. I've liked the running of Valdo and Valdair and Luis Enrique on the other side. Valdair's nickname was Flash, indeed. Now pushed forward by Branco. And Bebeto tried to get through. And yes, if you're thinking back to what I said at the start, it has been far from an exhibition game. Almost like two teams at the end of season playing for the holidays. Branco. Oh, Careca just got in the way there, but he's going through in the run now. Again, that ability to see a space and go for it. I think he may get the free kick out of it. Yes, he does. Free kick there. It's not just a case of the pace there. It's the way he gets away from his markers, which is so vital, especially for the way that defenses are so tight. Branco takes that, and nobody challenging Francisco Antonioli, who's had a very pleasant evening. I don't know what he's picking up for this game, but hasn't had to do too much for it. Now Massaro comes forward. He's been operating more on the other side. Donadoni trying to push it inside there to Simone. And although the Brazilians have been paid a lot of money for this, and the seats are kind of half price, a lot will be picked up through television and advertising. That is what is making this game pay, and I think it's a sign of the times to come. Still 1-0. Goal by Careca. Tassotti. Gentle ball forward again. Rijkaard goes inside. A better position for Rijkaard, and well, that looked like a tired man there going for that ball, I have to say. And I think he came down awkwardly as well, limping ever so slightly. Luis Enrique on that run again. Other substitution coming up. That's the scoreline. Carreca, the scorer. And the game slipping away from AC Milan. I don't think they'll lose any sleep about that, to be perfectly honest with you, if you take their attitude tonight as an example. Serena getting in the line-out. Helpful for Italian lip readers, I suppose, and a free kick again. Branco. There was a deflection, corner kick, taken by Dunga that time, in fact. Yes, Dunga coming up. Deflection, almost took him apart. This time the in-swinger, and once again it causes Antonioli no problem. I mean, nobody is pressurizing him. He's not being dragged off his goal line all that far. It's not that tantalizing ball that the goalkeeper's not sure about. Well, yes, I think AC Milan have come out tonight to ensure that there are no injuries for the final game. A high up and under. Could have gone anyway. Branco. There might have been a slight appeal for some kind of infringement. And a Brazilian down. I think it's Aldair. It is indeed Aldair. From Roma, ex-Flamengo and Benfica player. Like many of the Brazilians, as I said, up he goes for it. It was an awkward ball. Branco at the back, and he may have taken an elbow right in the nape of the neck. That's what it seemed like to me. Now you can judge for yourself the dilemma that Brazil are in, as we have another look at that. Serena involved in it. And Cornacchini is about to come on. Rijkaard off. So the three Dutchmen are now off, waiting to catch the referee's attention. As I was saying, the dilemma of the Brazilians is quite simply that they've got to fight off this legacy they have, this enormous legend that they created themselves. And almost to recreate it has been for them like seeking out the Holy Grail. They've never been able to manage to capture the magic of the days of Pele and Garrincha. Players like that. And now they've got a very mature team on here with European experience. And judge for yourself, have they looked at all Brazilian? That's going to be a corner kick. Gambaro is on. And AC Milan now ringing the changes. And what could Brazil do on the break? A lot of AC Milan players in there. A congested penalty area, but plenty of room now at the back. Played forward by Tassotti. Costacurta. Mozer. Free kick and that tussle with Jorginho. Jorginho, by the way, is going to Bayern Munich. He's played his last game for Bayer Leverkusen. And curiously enough, on the day that he played Stuttgart, the day that Stuttgart won the Bundesliga in one of the closest finishes ever. Mozer will take this. Jose Carlos Mozer. Olympique Marseille, played formerly for Flamengo and Benfica. Marvelous defender. AC Milan trying to get some kind of penetration down the left. Costacurta. Very deliberate long ball forward. Touched away there eventually by Mauro Silva. The back to Valdo. And on now to Branco. Brought down, free kick. Serena tussling with him. Serena has come on and made his mark in his game. Well, Branco's a very powerful customer. Used to the Italian style, of course. Genoa. I was talking to Peter Pullen of the Brazilian Soccer Federation, who says this toughness, and he said a lot of red cards, simply has come from the development in the European environment. It never was like that when he played for Fluminense. Then, of course, he went to Brescia, Porto, and knows all about the hard, physical, competitive nature of the game in Europe. Looking for a little solace. He may want to come off, in fact. Well, right in the middle, Fabio Capello, thinking perhaps more about what's going to happen on Sunday against Foggia. Astonishing contrast, this game, with the game at Wembley, where at times you just got the impression that the Brazilians were playing the ball about with great exhilaration on what seemed to me a more holding pitch. And tonight, by contrast, they've only been playing in little fits and spurts, and they have hardly been elegant. Although Careca's goal, a very good one by any standards. That's better play. One touch. Picked up here on this side by Valdo. Little 1-2 inside. Bebeto goes through. Is he onside? And he appeals for a penalty. As I said, he looks like a choir boy, doesn't he? With feet slightly more lethal. He turned on it. There was an appeal for offside. And he said he was touched by the goalkeeper. I think, well, we'll see after the replay what the decision ultimately was. He may have been offside. That certainly suggests he was touched. Although he did make that final flourish, which so many players now do in these games. It's been very difficult for AC Milan to pick the ball up in that space and to let fly at goal. In went Simone there after that. Luis Enrique. Serena. And a free kick to AC Milan. Arcangelo Pezzella, the referee. One yellow card, there's a shot, and no real problems for Taffarel. It was simply too far out. Well hit by Massaro, but he saw it coming, didn't he? Branco knocked down again, and tiny little piece of vendetta work going on here, I think. Looking for a little sympathy, gets it from the referee. That's the scoreline. And AC Milan at the moment don't look like coming back from that. That's offside. Time slipping away from them. Offside decisions given there on the screen as Bebeto tries to get across. Massaro chasing after him. Hard bounce of the ball. This towering stadium. Always that low camera position gives you that almost, I don't know whether it's the opposite of a vertiginous feeling, but it's quite astonishing. You're in a canyon here when you look up. Tassotti. Over there by Aldair, and Serena complaining. Throw to Brazil, and they're taken by Branco. Well, you would have thought they would want to get on with this quickly. Brought down there by Simone. Well, Maldini trying to come in, but easily brushed away. They're trying to get that ball away down the side to Luis Enrique to make runs. As I said earlier on, they have fleetness of foot, but so easily brushed off the ball. And 5 minutes remaining. Still 1-0. Little spurt now, as if AC Milan are becoming aware that the clock's against them. And they're getting a free kick out of this. Serena annoyed about it as Massaro was brought down. You wouldn't believe they could lose tempers out of this kind of performance, but they are. And there's a look of astonishment on Aldair's face there, as the referee asked to see his number. Aldair from Roma. 26 years of age. Another fine defender, yellow carded. Amonito. That was a tackle there, and the follow-up. Almost ganging up at him. So free kick. Could he pull it back? Under 5 minutes remaining. Still 1-0. Referee quite adamant about the space back. Looking carefully at it. Swept in there by Mozer. I think about a couple of feet out. Very deliberate, though. He did beat the defensive wall, taking the goalkeeper not really too much to the side, and the altitude just wrong. Well, I don't think Silvio Berlusconi, whom some say had this game been throughout Europe because he wanted to take the gloss of Sampdoria in the final at Wembley tomorrow night, would you believe? I would imagine that he'll want better fare than this in his television friendlies. Certainly there is a future for them, but with a keener sense of participation and commitment than this. The high up and the play is really very untidy. They've got to watch that man, Bebeto, as he breaks forward, or Luis Enrique. Milan adopting that long high ball now. Up towards the edge of the box, and they get another free kick. Serena right in the middle of the Brazilians get the free kick, and Mozer using, I'm sure, his fluent Italian to seek an explanation. And he was well and truly mugged. Yellow card comes out. Friendly or no friendly. And Dunga acting, I'm sure, not as a pacifying interpreter. I think there was a touch of sarcasm in that conversation going on there. Well, they still want to keep at it. Well, this is interesting. Referee still not satisfied, wants the players just to get out of it. It's really rather protracted, this squabble now, out of all proportion to the context of the game. And eventually we may get a free kick out of it. Donadoni explaining what he might try to do. The goalkeeper tic-tacking. And 2-1 on, they're going to miss this because that's the way the game's gone. Mozer in a linguistic mood, and the free kick, I think, just about to be taken. And the defensive wall holds after all that fuss and bother. Well, that's surely a free kick. No, play waved on as we go for the final whistle. AC Milan may not be able to do it in the time left. There will be stoppage time. Tassotti. Play down and almost getting out there to Simone. The play still on, and I think a free kick. Yes, it is. Mozer doesn't like that referee one little bit. What a pity, and I rather out of context, as I said, that it's ended in this bad-natured way. It has been, I have to admit, an enormously disappointing game. These people came tonight, and we were watching through television, for what we thought would be a banquet of stylish, elegant football. Instead, we got something that was definitely end-of-season affairs, which really took the gloss of what should have been almost a birthday party, the exchange of shirts. So, there's the final score. Brazil have won, but hardly a distinguished victory. That goal by Careca, the Napoli-based Brazilian. This has all been about, this European venture has all been about the Brazilians trying to look ahead. And indeed, the manager, Carlos Alberto Pereira, has made it absolutely clear he wants to make Brazilian football based not on European ideals, but on Brazilian virtues. Hardly any of them have appeared above the surface tonight, as Ancelotti goes almost on a lap of honor. And maybe that is what we should take out of this game. The parting memory of a great professional footballer who's had a tribute paid to him by a very, very professional crowd indeed, who know their football and who, much like us, have been disappointed in the quality. Some of these players now, particularly the Dutchmen, will be looking forward to the European Championships, which of course will be covered here on Eurosport, and this was a sole glimpse of quality in the match. And watch for Careca laying it off and finishing it. It was a one-man show in the space of 10 seconds. Maybe not good enough, but we should be thankful for small mercies that a Brazilian still has that quality at the age of 31. And the problem for the Brazilians is they will have to make up their minds whether these men can go forward for another couple of years, like Careca at the age of 31, and be of any value in mid-30s. It's very, very questionable. But nevertheless, one hopes that we see the best of them in the future. We'll be back tomorrow night with a European Cup final from Wembley. A very good night. Until then.
Eurosport.